every horse that has a behavioral issue, within that is them telling you they don't feel safe doing something. Hello, welcome. So I'm going to start off this first vlog and let you know the inspiration and the intention behind it. The inspiration was a mild panic attack I had basically all day long before I went to a lesson for myself. At a certain point, I decided I'm working really hard. I need to refocus on things that I'm actually passionate about and that I want to do. My deepest love is rein cow horse and cutting, and I've kind of not done anything around that for about 1.5 years. I came up with every excuse ever. So it was like it was windy, it was cold, it was raining. I actually had to move a lot of things around. I had to get childcare. I had to switch all this stuff around, and there was like 80 times during the day where I could have sent a text message saying why I couldn't come, and they were all pretty legitimate excuses. But physically, I was still going through the motions of going to that lesson. I was still hooking up the trailer. I was still loading the tack. I was still getting my horse ready. And I made it there. But on the drive there was a significant message that came through to me because I consciously took myself through a process that I take my clients through. And it was just a reminder that we're always doing the work. It never stops. We're always up leveling, so our things are going to get bigger. But the power of being aware and conscious about what you do about things when they come up for you. So I really felt like there are enough how-to videos, enough trainers talking about techniques. There's enough gadgets to make your horse look exactly how you want it to look. And there's a gap. And the gap is in the work that you have to do for yourself internally to get the results you actually want. Because you can do all of those techniques perfectly right, you can have perfect timing, but if your energy is off, if your intention and your beliefs around what it is to uphold your own boundaries with your horse, or even request things from them, or your belief about what you can and can't have, all of that stuff is going to affect the way that your horse performs, whether it's going down the trail, whether it's, upper level dressage, whether you're showing, no matter what it is. That stuff, number one, is going to affect how you show up for your horse and how your horse shows up for you. And I do so much work on myself constantly. And I don't think that is the piece that people get to see ever. And I can give you those techniques, but if you get to see it in real life and realize that people on social media are pretty produced, and it's thought about and it's filtered and it's all the things, right? And so that doesn't help you. And I want to help people. That is my purpose. That is my sole reason for being on this planet. So I thought, why not let people see all of that part? And it's going to be very active and in my experience because I have made a commitment to myself to go show next year. I've got these 2 horses that are very capable, and I have lots of excuses why I'm not showing them yet. Some of them are legitimate, some of them I use, and I'm aware of that. And I'm going to be real honest and real raw about everything that comes up on this little journey. So my goal is next year to be vlogging from a show. The reason this kind of feels much more scary and vulnerable than any of the other videos I do is because for years my ego was really tied into showing. I had a belief that I was just doing problem horses, and it's so general and everyone does problem horses. And if I'm ever going to be regarded as an actual horse trainer, then I would need to go show and have people see that I could do the performance side as well as fix the problems. that was my own stuff. And I do believe that's why the showing thing never worked out for me for whatever reason, because I was doing it for the wrong reasons. Now I know I'm doing it because I actually really enjoy it, and I don't care what happens. I don't care about the results from the show. My intention behind it is not that. It is because I want to do things that I love, to keep me driving forward, keep me alive, keep me happy, so that I can serve people that come to me for help better. So I guess a quickie introduction about who I am. I kind of said it. I've been a performance horse trainer that has focused on horses with behavioral issues. So I've done every discipline under the sun. In 2017, I went through an incredibly painful divorce. And through all my years of training horses, I knew, and everyone kind of knows, that how you're showing up is going to affect how your horse shows up. I just didn't really ever know how to help my clients with that. I could fix their horse and give it back, and I knew that it wouldn't really stay that way, but what else could I do about it? Once my own personal horses were affected in a huge way, while I was going through my stuff, my anxiety, my stress, my fear, my anger, my sadness, all of the things that I went through, I think for a lot of people, they won't do it for themselves, but they'll do it for their kids. Sometimes they won't even do it for their kids. They'll do it for their horse, though. And I'm not going to say that was fully what was going on, but it was a big eye-opening experience for me to realize, wow, like, I'm screwing my horses up, and it's time to stop living like this. So I really dove into seminars. I did different energy modalities. I got certified through Gala. I got certified as a coach. I got certified in a couple different energy healing stuff, and I've really just meshed them all together. And I feel like my clients that I work with personally and that are in my life get to see all of the real stuff. But if you're just looking at me on social media or YouTube, then you don't actually see what's going on behind the scenes. I feel like their growth comes from the fact that they do get to see that. And that's really kind of the piece I'd like to share. So the rest of the vlogs will definitely not be this blabbery. But like for the first one, you needed to really see where I was coming from and why I was doing it. I have no idea what's going to happen. If I fail, I don't even know what failure looks like. I guess if I just quit this, that would be failing. But I just wanted to make sure you guys knew the intention behind it, the inspiration behind it. And I feel like today, okay, I'm going to take you through and introduce you to the fur family, because you're going to have to get to know them in each of their parts in this. So that's what today's going to be about. So thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate every single person that's been any part of my journey, positive or negative. The lessons are invaluable. So since we've got this little guy standing over here already, we'll start with him. He might be one of the more significant horses I have. Skirt. This is Smarty. I've had him since he was a yearling. When he was 2, we realized he had cysts in his 2 front feet and some stuff going on in his hocks. So I equated it to, I really can't do anything performance-wise with him. I need to preserve him because I adore him. He's fiery, like fiery, but he's amazing. And but what I realized when I took him to that lesson is, I've done all the stuff, the OSFOS, the shots, the this, the that. He's not on any medication right now. He's going 100% sound, and all he has is some special shoes. And I have an amazing farrier who's kept him sound for the last 2 years. What I realized is I don't have to do rein cow horse on him. I can do a couple shows in cutting a year, and I think part of keeping them sound is mentally. He loves it. I don't know what's going on. He loves working cows. He is bred to do it. It makes him the happiest. Oh, scared me, squirrel. So why would I keep that from him? The one thing this horse is he is a fighter. He was one of the hardest colts that a professional trainer who's very well known and very respected even said, he was tough. And what I love about that is that he never shut down. And I've figured out a way to work with him without shutting him down and without frying his brain. And now that we've gotten to the point where we have released that resistance and that agenda, I don't need spurs. I don't have to hang on him. I don't have to pull on him. You know, he's easy. And it was me learning you don't have to fight. Figure out the root of the resistance and start there. And I will tell you that every horse that has a behavioral issue, within that is them telling you they don't feel safe doing something. And horses' number one priority is always, am I safe? What nervous system do I need to be in? This is Flirt. He is 14 now. I showed him when he was like 4, 5, and 6. We did cutting. I wouldn't say that we were necessarily super successful, but we sure learned a lot. He is quirky and adorable, and I'm leasing him out now. He also does a lot of the mirror sessions, so he is by far one of the most powerful horses we have on the property, a total asset to the herd. So this queen is Clover. She is 6. She is the half sister to Smarty, and she defies all red mare stigma. She is literally the smartest. Not to say red mares aren't smart. That's probably actually why people struggle with them so much. She's the smartest, most trainable, willing, solid partner, and the youngest horse I have. She's super sensitive, but you can also put someone that does not ride ever on her, and she will just pack them around. She is the one that I would really want to dive into the rein cow horse stuff with. So that's my goal for her. Actually, she's not even ever been on cows, and all the excuses I have is that she's too old. They're too behind. I don't have time. I don't have resources. I don't have money. I have all those excuses, you guys, and I still don't know how I'm going to work around the majority of them, but I guess this is what this is all about. Flirt has really taught me the importance of slowing down and the value in just sitting when things get too stressful, because with him, if he gets overwhelmed, he just kind of explodes, literally. And I had learned to, how do I work around that? I think there's parts of him that just won't change. And instead of calling them behavioral issues, we call them quirky. And we have to work with that. This one has really taught me that you can be exactly who you are and be fucking magical and amazing. She holds back nothing. She does not stuff anything. You know exactly how she feels about everything going on in every moment. And I think that's why everyone loves her so much. She's so honest. And all 3 of them actually help in the mirror sessions. And I'm feeling pretty blessed. I don't necessarily like red horses, so I'm not even entirely sure how I ended up with all red horses. But that is my herd. I don't know. They all conveniently came over. I guess they knew what was going on. We have a little visitor over there. That's Rhett. He is also very magical. He's a client's horse. So, okay, that is my main fur family. Let's go on. I'll introduce you to the dogs, and then we'll wrap up. To the newest member of our family. This is Luna Beans Leidick, also known as Luna, Lou, Loretta, Ludus, Beans, Miss Beans, she got lots of names. She's a boxer, and she was born on August 5th, and she's pretty good. She's a big old energetic snuggler, so it'll be fun to watch her grow up. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. And then we, of course, have Rocco, who is literally a unicorn dog. He's 4, had him since he was a baby. Got him out of a parking lot of a liquor store in Aromas for $100, filled with worms and pretty grossly unhealthy, but he's turned out to be the best dog ever. He's a German Shepherd and boxer. So those are my dogs. Hard life they live. Okay, got a little wardrobe change. It's feeding time. Figure now is as good a time as any to introduce you to the minis, and then the goats, and then of course the ladies. Okay, we have the magnificent, magical Bam Bam and Thunder. Okay, this is Bam Bam in all his glory. Thunder is 26 beautiful years old. No, he's not fat. He has a springy rib cage and is perfectly healthy. Bam Bam is 7. And yes, he is always that hairy. Bam! We use both of these guys for the mirror sessions, and they're basically just funny to look at. So that is them. Viola and Sebastian. Viola and Sebastian are brother and sister. They're twins. Viola actually was not born alive and was bottle fed. And then Sebastian, he's just Sebastian. She's very sweet. He's also very sweet, although he does have his moments. They don't really have a purpose other than they're entertaining, like everything else on the property. Huh. Yeah. Okay, so here are the ladies. They're about, I don't know, 8 months old. They just started laying eggs. They kind of come out and cruise around once in a while. We have a pretty aggressive hawk that I may or may not have beat with a dressage whip at one point to get it off one of them. That is definitely a story for a different day. So I think that is everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out. Like I said, the next one won't be quite so blabbery and wordy. Just thought you guys should get to know the family a little bit before we dive in and get all like crazy with our shit. With all the things.